Welcome to episode 36 of the Seagrove Sessions, stories and memories from members of NEDC's Seagrove Centre. In this episode we hear from Nessie. From earliest days in a single end in Tolbooth Wynd in Leith to her later childhood in Burn Street, from outside toilets to gaslights. It's a fascinating, detailed and sometimes reflected view of growing up and childhood. Step back to Leith in the 1940s and 50s. Enjoy.
Agnes.
And
My maiden name was Winton.
where were you? What part of Edinburgh? Presumably Edinburgh.
No, my mum stayed in Tolbooth Wynd. I was born when she stayed in Tolbooth Wynd.
Ah, right. So that's the bottom of the Kirkgate.
Yes.
Which is quite a changed area.
Right, I know. What a shame. They took all the character away from it. But never mind.
And was
Progress.
was it a tenement?
Yes, it was tenement. It was really a single end.
Wow.
Just a single room.
Good grief.
You know, and my brother was born when we stayed in there as well. One of my brothers.
So how many? You say one. So how many children were there?
Well, in Tolbooth Wynd there was only my brother and myself, and then we moved to Burn Street in Leith when I was about 4, and I stayed there. I remember that room.
Do you?
Yeah, I can remember where the fireplace was and the bed, and there was a recess up it that you went up a step into it, and there was a double bed, and I just can't remember where we all slept. I must have been there somewhere.
I know,
Yeah.
it was a right old squeeze in some of
That's
these
right,
places.
yes. And you had to go outside for the toilet. It wasn't very good at all.
And do you remember what level you were on?
I think it was the second.
Oh, right.
I think it was the second.
Yeah.
But of course then you had gaslight as well in the houses.
Yeah.
It was gaslight. Yeah. You had a wee mantle on the mantelpiece. Yeah, and you had to, well, my mother, they had to go to the shops, and when it went, if a hole came in it, there was a blue flame come out of it, so you couldn't use it. You had to put them away and buy new ones, but they were very, very fragile. The least wee thing, put your fingers right through it.
It's incredible to think the gaslight, isn't it?
Well, we moved to Burn Street and that was gaslight as well.
Was it? Right.
That was gaslight, yeah.
So obviously when you were in Tolbooth Wynd you weren't going to school? So
No, I left there when I was about 4.
And what were your memories of it like? It was obviously quite a lively part of the town, wasn't it?
Yes, aye, it was. And there were shops down the stair as well.
Yeah.
And an ice cream shop. Which was one, and there was a sort of like a draper shop that sold curtains and things like that for the house. Mm-hmm.
And what did your well, obviously your mum was, I presume, looking after her children, but do you know what she had done as a job?
Yes, she worked in the ropery. My dad worked in the ropery, yeah. But then when he went away during the war, when he went away to Burma to fight in the jungle, yeah. And when he come back, he got a job again in the ropery, but by that time they had changed a lot to nylon ropes
of course, yeah.
instead of the ordinary rope. And my dad actually made the rope that was on the king's gun thing when he died.
Oh, the funeral.
The funeral, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So he made that rope, the nylon rope for the gun carriage. But the two of them worked in the ropery, my mum and my dad. No got anything like a wedding photo or anything like that. No, never ever had anything like that.
No. And what about grandparents? Were they around?
Well, I'm more connected to my mother's side.
Okay.
We moved to Burn Street and my granny stayed in Burn Street as well. And that was a great community. It really was, because you knew everybody from the bottom to the top. It was just one big row of houses.
Right.
And you knew everybody that stayed up all the stairs.
Burn Street is the bottom of Loch End Road,
Yes,
isn't it? Yeah.
that's right. And I went to Loch End Road School.
Oh, that wasn't far.
That wasn't far. And then I had another brother there, and then I had a younger sister.
Oh, goodness.
But I was 17 when my sister was born. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite
And
a distance.
used to, when we stayed in Craigentinny, I used to go to the shops, and the butcher would say, "Where's your big girl today?" I says, my big girl. I says, that's my big girl. He says, no, the other one, the bigger one. I said, that's my sister. He says, I thought you were her mother.
God.
So it was a great community in Burn Street.
Yeah,
Really
so
good.
why did you move there to be close to your granny, or?
I don't know why they moved.
No.
I don't know. It was a room and kitchen, of course, they went to, where Tobith Wendell had the one room.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So in Burn Street you had the room and the kitchen, and the toilet was outside on the landing.
So is Burn Street near Primrose Street?
Well, it was conjunction.
Oh,
you know,
right.
there's Burn Street and it looked on, your back windows looked onto Primrose Street, back windows looked onto you. But they used to have big ropes that come from the one side of the street to the other, that you pulled it in to put your washing out on.
My goodness.
And it went right across the back green.
Good grief.
Yeah. Oh, it was really great. They always had a bonfire in the middle of the street, and there was a man had an accordion and used to dance and things like that. It was very good. When everybody was at school in the summertime, all the mothers were on the other side of the street and they had a good old gossip. And they used to do that at night when the kids got put to bed. Which I didn't like that.
No.
Being left in the house though.
No. Gosh, it's incredible how things have changed.
Yes, I know. It was a great community in Burn Street.
And were there any shops in Burn Street?
There was one shop at the bottom.
Right.
It was a grocer's shop. And if you went down there and round the corner, there was a dairy and a chip shop. Yeah.
And there wouldn't have been many cars in the street.
Oh no, there was no cars. In fact, there was a stable. The coal man, they used to deliver the bags of coal. He had a horse and cart in there. Right. Yeah, and there was a couple of garages. The doctor in the next again street, he used to park his car in the garage in Burn Street. And there was a mission hall as well, which was good for it. Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, I'll have a look.
Yeah, the mission hall. It was good. Used to go there and see the lanterns, slides, the lanterns and that. It was quite good.
Yeah, they used to do things about missionary and things
That's
like that,
right,
wasn't it?
The Band of Hope. Used to call it the Band of Hope.
Oh, did you go to the Band of Hope?
Yes, I did. That was in Kirk Street at the foot of the walk.
And that was about not drinking, wasn't it?
That was, it was all these 30 things. But yeah, they took films, children films and things.
And what, did you go to Sunday school? Or?
Yes, I went to Sunday school. I used to go to the church with my granny. I used to go to church on a Sunday. There was my granny and this friend of hers that stayed at the other end of the street. But she was very deaf. You had to go right up to her ear and shout in her ear. What a shame. She didn't have hearing aids or anything like that. Not. But the two of them used to go a walk with me on a Sunday, a nice walk through the cemetery.
Well, it was peaceful.
Looking at all the stones and everything, yeah. That was my ritual on a Sunday. Going with my granny and Mrs. Roberts, going to the cemetery.
And did you play in the street?
Yes. Yeah, I used to play skipping ropes and with the balls up against the wall and things like that, yeah. The boys used to play marbles and kick a can and all these sort of things. Yeah.
And do you remember names of your friends when you were a girl?
I didn't really have much friends.
Did you not?
No, I don't know, I was quite shy. Never really went anywhere at all.
Is that right?
Without my mother.
Because you're very social now, aren't you?
Well, you tried to make your family a bit different from how you were brought up.
Oh,
you know. But no, I never used to mind playing skipping ropes and that, but I don't really remember anybody that was a real friends with me.
Good Lord.
No.
Oh, that's surprising.
And my mother had you right up into the bathroom at night to wash your clothes to get it dried for the morning to go to school again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, my mother was very Victorian. She was very old-fashioned in her ways, you know, just how she had been brought up.
So was she quite strict?
I wouldn't say she was strict. She just had old-fashioned ideas, you know.
Okay.
To be perfectly honest, I was frightened of my mother.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
But not your father?
No, I didn't really feel very close to my dad either.
Oh.
I think because when he worked in the ropery, he used to do a lot of overtime.
Okay.
And didn't see him very much. He used to come up through the links for his tea and then go way back to working at the weekend. He went out at the weekend.
Really?
Yeah, my mother never out at all.
So they didn't go out together?
No.
Good grief.
Never remember them ever going out together. No.
Incredible.
Never.
And it's interesting to hear you say that you decided to be different yourself.
Well, you like to bring your family up as best you can.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and I can remember getting up, not having very many Christmas presents and things like that I really just go over the score now, I'm afraid, with all the family. But it's just the idea of somebody getting up and not having a really decent present, you know, so...
I suppose,
different.
I mean, there were 5 of you, wasn't there? Your brothers and sisters?
No, 2 sisters, and 2 brothers and a sister.
Okay,
and me.
so four of you.
Yeah.
I suppose that's quite a lot of mouths to feed. So.
That's right, yeah. And my dad went away to the army, you know, with the army. He was away for a long time in the army, and then when he come back, you wouldn't really... You didn't really know him as a person.
No, because you would have been quite young when he went away to war.
That's right, yeah. But I can remember during the war, you know, I can remember going down the street and into the shelter in the back green. I can remember the aeroplanes coming over when they were going to the docks.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Very, very frightening.
You would be. Yeah.
I never understood during the war. You used to take your gas mask and that with you at Lock End Road. If the sirens went, you had to come out the building and go into this brick thing that was, when I look at the size of this playground they've got now, it's a wee toy thing. And I thought, what was the difference of you being in there and somebody dropping something, then going into this brick place? It was just, you were only yards away for the front doors.
Well, of course, there were people killed in shelter.
Yeah, there was, aye. But, the shelters were something different as well. They had the paraffin oil heater and things like that. And you used to put the kids down to sleep, and as if you could sleep when all that was going on, you know.
Scary.
It was a very, very frightening thing.
Do you remember the end of the war when that was declared then?
Yes, I can remember the end, but when all the soldiers were coming home, the street had bunting on it, right from the very top to the bottom. And the stair that the person came through, that it was all decorated with saying "Welcome home," you know, and that was, they came home at different times.
Yeah, of course they would do,
Yeah.
And what was because the Burma campaign was terrible. A lot of men returned from that traumatised. How was your father?
I think my dad had a lot of nightmare things, and he had malaria twice when he was over there. He was in hospital. Yeah, I think he must have had some terrible memories. Terrible. Even when he was in the hospital, when he was dying, actually, and you went in to see him and he'd say, "Oh, you should have been here last night." What was that sportsman's name? It's a sportsman's name. He said, "Well, he was in here," he says, "he was talking to everybody." I says, "Was it?" He says, "Yes, and he's coming back. He's coming back as well." But he used to talk about somebody like that. He was a wee bit delirium. So he was only 63 when he died, so it must have been a terrible experience for people.
God,
yeah. Especially in Burma, in the jungle.
Oh, yeah.
Oof, it must have been...
That was a
must
tough
have been
campaign.
Awful. Yeah.
But at least he was never captured.
No. Whereas my husband's family, that was different. He had one that was captured. It must have been terrible for his mother. Yeah. And one of his brothers was actually killed when there was a big ship going from Scotland over to the Iceland way.
Yeah, the North Atlantic convoys, probably.
That's right, no, it was torpedoed, and he was only 19. So it must have been horrible having a son killed and somebody else being captured, eh?
So did you enjoy school?
I loved school.
Did you?
Yes, I loved school. Mm-hmm.
What were your favourite subjects?
Well, I didn't remember anything much about primary, but the only thing I did like about there was, in these days, you know, you used to walk along the corridors in twos, and if a teacher passed you, the boys had to salute and this. And we had a record player down the bottom, and I got the job of putting the records on. When you were coming in the morning, they had to march up the stairs to the music.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that was something that I always loved doing. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds a great job.
Yeah, yeah. But when I went to secondary school, I went to David Kilpatrick's, and that had already been bombed.
That's
so
right.
it was all sort of like big huts that you went to, and there was all sort of temporary thing.
Yeah.
Now that's made into a big park now.
That's right. That was one of quite a major bomb that hit,
That's
wasn't
right.
it?
Oh, I loved school, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave school at all.
Did you not?
No.
How old were you when you left school?
Must have been 15.
And did you start work straight away? Or?
Yes, I went into an office and I was there for 6 weeks, and I heard that you were getting more money if you went to work in a whisky bond.
Oh.
So I left. And apparently one of the teachers, I used to go for typing and shorthand, and apparently one of the teachers, somebody says to me, oh, he was annoyed when he heard that you had moved to a whisky bond because you should have stayed where you were and you would have had a decent job.
But did you regret it?
Well, I did and I didn't, because the jobs that I got, well, I had 5 kids, and I didn't go out to work again until I had the children. I never went back there until my youngest one, he was maybe about 2 or something,
Right.
when I got a job in a hospital.
Oh, right.
So I worked as a domestic in the hospital, and I used to change the hours to suit what was happening with my husband and the kids. And I worked there, and I got a job as a supervisor. And then when I was a supervisor, I went to college
Right.
on a daily release thing.
Yeah.
And when I come back, then I got a domestic services manager in the Northern, because the Eastern shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Then I went to the Northern, and I was there for 2 or 3 years, and that shut down, and I went to the Western.
Oh.
So I worked in 3 of them.
Wow.
But all in all, I did that kind of job so I enjoyed that job right enough.
Yeah.
You know, but it's when they started taking contractors in and all the rest of it, I thought, no, I've had enough.
No, you're quite right.
I'll just go.
No. So
But I enjoyed working in hospital.
you did?
Yes,
Oh,
I
well,
did.
You did make the right choice.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Taking you back, so when you started work, when you were getting some money, were you going out in the evenings?
Yeah, that was when I was about 16.
Yeah.
I used to go dancing to the assembly rooms in Leith.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I used to go there twice a week. It was hard.
Which bond were you working in, by the way?
It was Hill Thompson's.
Where was that?
It was down in Quality Street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a small bond.
Yeah.
But I worked down there in the labelling machine with putting the labels on all the bottles as they come through. But I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
There was a lot of, I've heard a lot of people working in the bonds. There was a lot of...
there was a lot of bonds at that time.
Yeah, bond number 9 was the big one.
Yeah, that's right. And there was it was a Highland Queen that we were.
Oh, right.
That was a whisky we used to do.
There could be a lot of shenanigans and scams going on in bonds, couldn't there? I've heard a lot of stories.
We used to be able to sing songs.
Yeah.
In our bond, you used to sing. Yeah,
Oh, lovely.
we used to sing. Used to put music on and we used to sing.
Yeah.
But it was good memories.
Be mostly women, I presume, working
Yes,
there.
it was all women.
Yeah.
The only 2 men was the engineers that kept an eye on the machines and things like that. If they conked out or anything, it's fine.
So if you were going out dancing, where you went to the assembly rooms, and what days of the week were you generally going?
I used to go there on a Tuesday and a Friday, I think it was.
Oh, a Tuesday. Oh, right.
Tuesday and a Friday.
And of course, in those days, generally, women wouldn't be alcohol.
No.
No.
You went to the dance hall, and if there was an interval, you could go through the back and get a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Right.
But there was nothing like going out in pubs or anything like that, you know. No.
Did you ever go along to the El Dorado?
Yeah, I was there a couple of times because the big bands used to come there.
Ah, right.
Yeah, that was good as well.
And did you go uptown at all?
No, an awful lot. No, I was quite quiet and stayed in the house quite a lot.
Right. Because if everything was in Leith, you didn't need to go uptown.
That's
did you?
right, yeah. They took all the character away for the Kirkgate. When they took everything away, you know, it was a great place to shop and that. But took it all away.
Yeah, because it was a long street, wasn't
Yes,
it? Yeah.
it was a big long street. We stayed right at the very bottom at Tobith Wines.
Yeah.
But I used to shop there as well when I left school. When I first got married.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still there when in the early days of my marriage. And the trams were there as well. The trams used to come along the foot of the walk and that.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
And in those days, Woolworths would have still been at the top.
Yeah, at the foot of the walk, yeah.
You've got an amazingly clear memory, I have to say.
Well, I can remember some things, and there's other things I can't remember first starting school.
Can you not?
No, I don't remember that at all.
No.
I've never ever had a remembrance of that at all. It's just wee snippets here and there.
Yeah.
You know, I can remember the school dinners and
Can you?
yeah, the school dinners. I used to like getting the semolina and the jam on top. Things like that.
Yeah.
And I could remember the rationing. You know,
Yeah.
when you had your ration books and you got so many points cut off if you were going for anything.
Of course.
And the sweeties, well, that was the worst one. The wee shop at the top of the road, she used to take you in months in advance. She used to take the goods for you. Obviously, she was just getting the custom, you know.
Yeah.
But she'd know, if you've used this month, I'll take next month's. So that was quite good.
Yeah.
But when the rationing went off and they shut the sweetie shops, there was pandemonium.
Oh, it would be.
Oh, everything went, and I had to open the shops again because the sweeties were. It was awful.
Because it was some time before sweetie rationing was finished, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah. But
Yeah.
obviously, because they had to put it back on, they did stop it.
Yeah.
But there was a right hoo-ha about it, and they had to bring it back again.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you use the Leith Provi?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and you used to get every so often you got when your meters and that got emptied, you had some money for that, and then the Provident, I think it was twice a year, you used to get a thing for them as well.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of things like that. I used to get green stamps
That's right.
of the cigarettes and things
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
I never ever smoked. Never.
Did you not?
No,
Never tried it?
Never had any inclination to
No.
smoke.
Did your parents smoke?
Oh yeah, my
Yeah.
dad was a very heavy smoker, and my mother were 5 Woodbine. She used to always send you for 5 Woodbine, but she didn't start smoking until during the war.
Oh, right.
So yeah, and then she ended up with emphysema.
Do you remember your dividend number?
27662. Yes, I remember that.
Was that yours or your mother's?
That was mine.
Right.
That was my store number.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to get the dividend.
It was a big thing getting the dividend, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Well, my kids were always looking for shoes or something.
Yeah. That's fascinating, Nessie. Thank you very much for that.
Well, you're welcome.
That was episode 36 of the Seagrove Sessions, Nessie's Stories. For more episodes of our podcasts and more information about the work of North Edinburgh Dementia Care, please go to www.nedc.org.uk or follow us on Facebook at NEDC Seagrove Centre. Thanks for listening. Catch you in the next one.